Hello out there and welcome to Public Conscience. This is the anti-corruption program produced by the Progressive Impact Organization for Community Development, PRIMOG. PRIMOG is a civil society organization with a mandate to promote good governance, participation, and accountability in Nigeria. I am Adaobi Obiabumo with Esther Bassi.
Welcome to the program.
On Public Conscience, we seek to evolve a corruption-free society through the amplification of corruption stories reported by our partner media organizations and drawing citizens and government attention for democratic actions against it. We also promote integrity by focusing on rare cases of the display of honesty by public and private individuals in the course of their normal activities. The MacArthur Foundation supports the production of this program.
Today, we will be looking at how more Nigerians can be mobilized to display integrity in their everyday lives. We will try to unravel factors perpetually responsible for the inability of ordinary Nigerians to live uprightly.
Today's program will also avail us the opportunity of bringing to the fore stories of recent acts of integrity by a police constable, Nora Mandi, who found and returned missing $800 to its owner in Katsina State, a boat driver who returned over 1.5 million naira forgotten in his car in Abuja, as well as the heroics of a petrol tanker driver who risked his own life to save lives and property in a Delta community.
Integrity is seen in varied forms, including the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles. On the flip side, a lack of integrity would therefore amount to corruption of these values or the principles or standard of behaviors. And oftentimes, when integrity is discussed, the failures of Nigerians who are saddled with one form of responsibility or the other in the public sector are placed on the front burner, leaving out that of the everyday Nigerians on the streets.
The truth remains that highly placed individuals, political leaders, and persons of influence and affluence are extremely outnumbered by the number of ordinary Nigerians, which makes the role of citizens imperative in ensuring more Nigerians are people of integrity, and it starts from you and I, insisting on not compromising standards, by insisting we do not give or take bribes, by also insisting we do not cut corners in our dealings with one another. So whether you are running your own business, a taxi driver, trader, artisan, factory worker, and so on, you have a responsibility to build a Nigeria where integrity holds sway. The question today is, how can more citizens be mobilized to display integrity? How much influence does the lack of integrity by people in leadership positions have on ordinary Nigerians? And do you know that despite all that happened, there are some Nigerians displaying integrity in public and private spaces?
Be ready to join us through phone and text messages in the course of the conversation. The WhatsApp phone line to send your message is 090-2265-6167. That is 090-2265-6167. Please indicate your name and your location when sending your message. This number is for messages only.
Please begin to send your messages as soon as possible to 0902-265-6167. That is 0902-265-6167. We will give you the numbers to call shortly.
Let me quickly remind you that we've been talking about the need to promote citizen-centered integrity in Nigeria. And according to British writer C.S. Lewis, he said, and I quote, "Integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is watching." End of quote.
And we are all aware that the flip side of integrity, which is corruption, is an evil wind that blows no society any good. There is hope because some Nigerians have continued to walk on the path of uprightness, sincerity, and selflessness for the good of others.
Here in the studio, we are joined by the boat driver who returned $4,050, which is over 1.6 million belonging to a passenger, Sunday Francis Adedonku. Welcome to the program.
You're welcome to the program, Sunday Francis.
Thank you.
We will be joined by Ejiro Otarigo. He is the petrol tanker driver who averted catastrophe by risking his life to drive away a burning truck out to the outskirts of the neighborhood in the Agbaro area of Delta State. He will join us via the phone in a short while. But also joining us in the studio is the communications lead at Accountability Lab Nigeria, Prince Chimaroke Chukwuka. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure being here.
Thank you for joining us. And we'll start today's conversation with Sunday Francis Adedukun. Welcome once again.
Thank you.
And we commend you for choosing to be a person of integrity. But come to think of it, you could have been over 1.6 million richer. What made you return the money? And is this the first time you're returning money or item belonging to your clients?
Thank you for having me today. This is not my first time of returning something like that. Something like mobile phones, etc. Like there was a day, I carried a lady from Asokoro to in Abuja, where the part where they said motor park along the other side. I don't know, I forgot the place. So on my way, getting home, the lady began to call me that she forgot something in my car. I checked everywhere, I couldn't find anything like that. So I have to come down. Checking under my seat behind me, I saw a loaf of bread, just a bread. But I don't know the reason why she was. Maybe that was her own me that she doesn't have money to buy another something. I have to go back to, it was Lokogoma. I have to go back from Lugbe back to Lokogoma to go and give her the bread. So I went many like that. And the issue on the returning of this money is has been the part of me from onset. That's the way my parents brought us up, and it being the way they brought me up, and having a God-fearing in everything I do. So I don't think if I should see something like that, to keep it to myself would be a very big problem, as in burden to me to keep something like, and the condition that warrants the money at that time is another thing, lesson to me too, that if I put myself in their shoes, if that they are the one, if I'm the one had something like an accident like that, their 4 tires were up. So if I'm the one in their shoe, that if I lost a car and money as well, at that moment I will not be happy. So because of that, I have to. And getting home on that day, I called my wife. When my wife saw the money, she was happy, shouting that God has blessed us. But and I explained the thing behind the money to her. She said, no, we have to. So I have to commend my wife for that. Then it was around 11 to 12 of that night. We have to return that money at that night, because going to following day, another thought might come to my heart, and I don't know, but the returning of that money, that's my peace of, that's what gave me a peace of mind.
Would you consider yourself financially buoyant? Are you a very rich man?
Oh, wow. In Christ, I'm rich. So.
Okay, you know why I asked? Because we understand the economic situation of the country at the moment.
Yes, you're right.
You have returned a loaf of bread. Anybody would say, loaf of bread. But 1.8 million. And you still decided to return the money.
At the point of returning that money, if I tell you the challenges, the financial challenges around me at that moment, it was very, very high. My house rent was due since December of 2021. My children's school fees. The car I was using for...
So the money would have solved a whole lot of challenges for you.
But I don't think it is the best from the God. That's what I'm after.
Okay, when you did that, what has been the reaction of your friends and associates?
Wow, a lot. The first time I first keep the things to myself. I didn't ask. I didn't give. Nobody knows about it. Not until the owner of the money call us for a book launch. That's when the world got to know about it. And when they know, I would say a lot of people commending me there, you are good to do that, but many as well. Though my church member, they appreciated that, the art of a man, you don't know. They might say to you, you are doing right, but behind that, you might not know. But to me, what
But did anybody criticize you for returning the money?
many people. So they did that very well. But the other side, many are praising me, like my pastors, my brothers, and my relatives, my families. Well, so.
Thank you for that act. But let's quickly get to Delta State and speak with Ejiro Otarigo, the truck driver who averted the catastrophe that would have happened in his community. Ejiro, you're welcome to Public Conscience on Radio. Let's quickly delve into your heroic act. Your bravery and selflessness averted catastrophe when you drove that burning truck out of the residential area in Delta State. We sincerely salute your courage. But what was the motivation behind taking such a risk?
Of the truth, the only motivation that was in my mind at that time was I never wanted to be a victim of someone that will kill people. Because what I saw there at that moment was, if it happens and this thing remains here, all persons will die, properties will destroy. What came to my mind at that time was just to take the truck out of that busy area and go to a place which I think will be safe at that time because it's close to the river. So what was in my mind, to be sincere, was I never wanted to kill any single life. Instead of me to be the person that will kill life, I just took it upon myself, okay, it will be better if it is me and the truck alone. I asked my motorboy to come down from the truck. I was alone in the truck. That was why I started driving.
Okay. So you've been getting commendations from many Nigerians after saving lives and properties in Delta States, right? I mean, we've seen the video, we've seen commendations from people in Nigeria and also from, the federal government. What does this mean to you? And what will you do to encourage younger people around you who are giving up on the Nigerian society to change their thoughts? What does this mean to you, and what is your encouragement to younger people?
Let me start by the commendations. Yes, I have received commendations from the Delta State government, from NGOs, from different NGOs, Nigeria, everybody at the state, in Abuja. I want to sincerely say I'm happy for the commendations. I'm grateful to God for it. Like you said, that people only give hope on Nigeria. Also, truth. If you look at the situation on ground, you would like to give hope because you not think that there is hope anywhere. But on my case, I am grateful to God because people have really shown to me that whatever you do, if you do good, you reap the good. If you do bad, you get what you sow. I am happy today because the mighty, the small, the prayers, every day of my life, people call me to pray for me. People I don't know, churches, they will just call and just do a program just because of me. So I'm really very happy because what God used me for, I'm getting the reward physically, spiritually. So I don't think because we see the country going in the wrong way, we just follow that everybody is in the wrong path. There are still good people out there. I have seen it, they've shown it to me.
Okay, we understand that truck was your source of livelihood. How have you been surviving?
Oh, my sister, the truth is, with the gift little gift that the federal state government has given to me, friends and everything, that is my only source of livelihood for now. There is no job, the truck has gone. That is the only way now. And like I said, now my wife just delivered. She has been in the house. So my source of livelihood now is just God and the little gift is given to me.
Okay, we just hope that something positive and big will come your way soonest. But before we let you go, how can you encourage Nigerians to promote integrity and selflessness? In 1 minute, please.
Okay, my encouragement is that you try to take your decision of the situation you are. That decision, make sure it favors the people, not only yourself.
Whatever
Any decision you are opportune to take the decision to favor the people, not only you. Because doing so, you definitely get the reward.
Thank you, but that is strong. The person listening to you would say, why would I want to favor other people and not myself? But we must commend you, Ejiro or Tarigo, once again. Thank you for coming on today's episode of the program.
Thank you. I'm grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. If you're just joining us, you've been on to Public Conscience, a production of PIMOC, the Progressive Impact Organization for Community Development. And today we're talking about integrity in the private sector, in our individual lives. And we've spoken with Ejiro Tarigo, and we also have Sunday Francis Adedoku in the studio, the boat driver who returned a huge sum of money. But also in the studio we have Prince Chimaroke, the communications lead at Accountability Lab Nigeria. You're once again welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
You've been seated there smiling and saying, would I have been able to return 1.8 million? If I were the truck driver, would I have averted that catastrophe? How would you react to the stories?
First of all, I would want to say a big thank you to both parties, both Mr. Sunday and Mr. Ejiro, because this is what I call true patriotism. Because you are becoming the country you want to see. These people have shown by the standard and by their life that they are living examples of what we can be when we choose and decide to do the right thing. And for Ejiro, if I were in his shoes, I wouldn't know. But of course, I guess the bravery, possibly I would summon that courage, because it's a life and death situation for him. And he was burning. He didn't think of the wife who is pregnant, how they will survive if he doesn't make it. In fact, I think
of yourself. The instinct will be to jump out of the
save yourself. You understand? So for me, I really applaud that selfless effort that he has demonstrated, and this is also proof that Nigerians are selfless people. I know we may not see it many times in the news because maybe some of this selfless act don't get to the media too quickly or just enough. So maybe people from their community, little communities, may begin to think, oh, maybe they do not exist. But this is a very huge example. And then for Mr. Sunday, I'm sure he didn't want to say so much about the criticism he has, because at some point I looked at.
We will get to him.
I think I saw on some social media platform where a number of persons, were saying some sarcastic things, saying, oh, maybe Sakba no reach, maybe, as if maybe he had everything in place, to have done that. But this is also to say to people that character that was built from the time a child is growing up would usually help strengthen the decisions that adults will begin to make. And just like he said, that
so the foundation
matters. I picked one thing from what he said, saying that was how he was raised. And I'm so happy because I've been a big campaigner to say the citizens must be active, leaders must be responsible, and institutions accountable. And then when we say leaders, a lot of people just think politicians. No, the politicians have leaders who they listen to. They have parents, they come from homes, and these are the first set of leaders they meet. And if there's any exhibition or or condoning of corruption or any inappropriate malpractices, they begin to see it as okay, as something that is, oh, it's okay. I mean, daddy wouldn't complain, mommy wouldn't complain. And by the time they grow up like that, I mean, if Sunday had come from such a home, I'm sure by now it possibly would have moved to a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom in a choice location, done a few things, maybe won't buy himself a car, but another car, So, but it goes back to the foundation. It goes back to the foundation, and this is why I plead that leaders would have to be responsible. When I'm talking about leaders, I'm not talking about politicians. I'm talking about fathers, I'm talking about mothers, I'm talking about teachers, those in primary school, in the secondary school, I'm talking about religious leaders, I'm talking about you and I, because there is no man alive that do not have within their small circle a level of influence with which their lifestyle can inspire those who are watching them closely.
Thank you for that, but we would like to get the person at the other end of the dial to join the conversation. 0902-265-6167. How would you react to the conversation, and how can more citizens be mobilized to display integrity? How much influence does the lack of integrity by people in leadership positions have on ordinary Nigerians? And do you know that despite all that happened, there are some Nigerians displaying integrity in the public and private spaces? Hello? In your name and where you're calling us from?
Yeah, my name is Oscar. I'm calling from area 11.
Let's hear you, Oscar.
Okay. For mine, I appreciate my brother in the studio there, and the other people that there are many lives. Okay. And they have been laying a good example as young people in this country. And for we also, we should try to learn from what they have done so that we can able to copy from them to be a good ambassador for the country. But for my own is that our leaders, I think they have to do the rightful thing as we, the ordinary citizens, try to do this right. But most of the times you see, it's only when, as someone saying in the studio, how we is the son of one big man. They could have moved them to another better place. And I think if you see somebody that is not even doing anything, you see government appreciating that person for something that is not even deserved. So please, let our leaders to be a good ambassador so that we young people learn from them. That is why the country at times we look what our leaders are doing and what elderly people are doing in the country, we feel so bad.
Okay, could you wrap up in 30 seconds?
Okay. So let me just stop from here so that you can help.
Okay. Thank you so much for your contribution. Okay. Hello. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Yes, my name is Oslo from my post in Abuja here.
Let's hear you in 1 minute.
I have to thank those two young men that have made Nigeria proud. But it's an lesson to us that whether authority measure or economic measure, there are some people that have integrity. So right now that Nigeria, we are looking for people that will fix Nigeria. And there are some politicians that have money to seduce people. So we Nigerians, we are going to resist them and say, no, enough is enough. Let us fix Nigeria. No matter bribe they want to bribe people of Nigeria. We want to fix what will help us to fix this country. Out of the insurgents, out of all those increase of
Please, let's stay on the topic, please. Let's stay with the topic.
My name is Apostle. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you, Apostle. But please, let's try and stay within the topic. We're discussing integrity. How do we promote integrity in the public space? Helen, your name and where you're calling us from?
Bayo from Kefi.
Okay, Bayo, let's hear you from Kefi.
Thank you. I want to talk regarding to the brother that my brother Ejiro, the count that got fire. Very connected with God blessing, living life, having counted the life from God left there, put it in God made some before wasting his life, put it to us as wisdom. Because continue to prolong his life and to make way for him. Those who are who have those who are risking their resources, those who are supposed to be avoided, you come will grant him whatever he has desires. The job that he has lost, and the open door. And I think the good Nigerians to come to his help, so that whatever we can contribute to help him, we can do that. And it's money. I think you're returning the money, the reward will not be only to affect the network. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and I would say amen to all your prayers. But again, it's good to commend Nigerians who display integrity. But how can we, as individuals, also emulate their own character and actions? Helen, okay, your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is Toba. I am calling from Airport.
Let's hear you. How do we encourage Nigerians to display integrity?
It's only two things Nigerians need to begin to deliver integrity. One, we need reward. Secondly, Nigerians need protection. If these two things can be put in place, you will discover that every man will act accordingly. Now, reward in the sense that when people do what they do, appreciate them, reward them. If you encourage others to do.
What kind of appreciation are you talking about?
It depends. Okay, let's put it like, look at people who had delved into some things that have affected their society or their environment, but they choose to say no to it for things to be normal. Eventually, what did they get? They get to be insulted, they get to be molested, they get to be relegated to the background. There should be a level of reward. I don't know how best to put it, but you understand what I'm saying. There should be some level of reward for good deeds. Then in the case of protection, when people come out to do something, for example, I'm in an organization where you want me to put my hand in fraudulent act, but I refuse. Are you getting me? Bringing the secret or whatever they want to do out and letting the government to know, the public to know. Eventually, I will not be the hunted. And if I would have collected that bribe and walk away quietly, I would have enjoyed the money. But eventually, I will not get the reward for doing what is good. Even the government will not be willing to protect me. So that's what I mean by reward and protection. When people do good things, reward them. And when they come out to open up on things that will have affected the society, protect them so that they will not get harmed eventually at the end of the day.
Thank you so much for your contribution. Reward for persons who have displayed integrity and protection for whistleblowers. Thank you so much. But let's get back to the studio and speak with our guest again. Esther.
We'll be speaking with Sunday now. Okay, so I would like to ask you, what could be the reason people running different kinds of business may not return monies just like you? What do you think would be their reason for not returning money or any item, found in their boats?
As I said earlier on, the first thing is upbringing. The way they brought me up is different the way they brought you up. So we come from different background. So if I can do this, that doesn't mean that you can do the same thing. So I can only speak for myself, but a lot from what do you call it, the platform, this our boat platform. I saw many. There was a guy. I said, "Guy, why now?" I said, I was just laughing. So that means if he saw something like that, the person will never do so. It will never return us. So I can only speak for myself. So I can't speak for other. Like I can encourage them to do, but the way they brought me up is different from the way they brought him up, and he will do so he might do an opposite.
But does that mean that without your upbringing that you would have kept the money?
Without my upbringing, I don't know how to explain to expatiate this more, because if, for example, a family they brought you
were taught not to do certain things.
I was taught not to do so. Then another family, they are seeing the way their father are doing things, like maybe a banker or a politician that is bringing money to the house every day. If such a guy or a boy or a child see something like that, he will look at it as if that's the way my dad used to bring money to the house. Then it's normal to such person.
So what you're trying to say is that the first role model of a child is the parent.
From the parent,
Okay, thank
nothing.
you. Hello? Your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is Amechi.
Amechi, let's hear from you.
Thank you. I just want to appreciate that my brother and the funny that bring return money back and the one that is better state for the help, where that he help for Nigeria. It's good because myself, I have a challenge of eye problem, but when I'm along the road that I'm driving motor, somebody like that, I get somebody like I carry goods to talk to somebody. At the end of the day, the person forget about 350. And that 350, I don't know where to locate that man. I had to drive back to go back to there and drop the road. I stayed there more than 6 hours before I see the man. At the end of the day, the man come back and give me 20,000. I appreciate that one because I did not stories. So the reason why I talk so is that it's not because of others. The reason why others don't return it back is because of no appreciation. Hello?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
The reason why others are not returning it is because of no appreciation. Some carry it go back.
So appreciation now doesn't as you can hear me. So if the man had not, can you hear me?
Others.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. I wanted to ask him if the man had not given him 20,000, if he would have maybe in a different circumstance returned the money. Hello? Your name and where you're calling us from?
I'm calling from Bawara. My name is Ahime.
Okay, Hime, let's hear you.
See, I appreciate that man that did that, return that money. You see, one thing I discovered is that whatever one have, that's what you give us. Him that returned the money and the person that belongs the money, I believe there is like two people, the same character means. Do you understand me?
We can hear you.
So what I'm trying to say, not say that whether appreciation or not, whatever this word, God Almighty heaven sees everybody. So I just appreciate him that returned the money and the person too that owes the money. Because two people that have the same character, they will meet. If that man would have been a bad man, this man is a bad man, they would have known to return the money. So when I was younger, a woman was trying to enter the vehicle. The small bag that kept the money fell. As I was telling the woman, look at the man, somebody slamming back. Why do you return? Why do you ask the woman to collect it? I said, let's have it. But this one has been laboring in the market. So you cannot allow her down bond to come on with the money. The person slapped me. And they don't bother. The woman collected and paid for me. So what is it that whether appreciation or not, whatever you are doing, is God that will appreciate everybody that do, whether good or bad. That's my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling the attention of the woman despite the fact that you were slapped. That goes to show that there are some Nigerians who ordinarily, they're just looking for opportunities to take things that do not belong to them. And we must really commend those that have called in who said that they return items that did not belong to them. For you listening to me, there are times you come across individuals or things. Some of us are, when you see things on the road, you shout, oh, God has blessed me. This is a blessing from God. But you have not stopped to think about the person who has lost that item. What would be the reaction of that person? How frustrated will that person be at that particular time? Do you know if that money is the last money that the person needs? Do you know if it's someone else's money that the person is going to return? You should always, like Ejiro said, think about others, not yourself when you take certain decisions.
So we'll move to Prince now.
All right.
The ordinary Nigerians realizing that they have vital roles to play in building a better society is important. What are the factors responsible for eroding the integrity of Nigerians, in our society today, and how did we get here? And who is to be blamed in all of this?
All right. You've asked a threefold question. I'll try to answer them one after one and be as quick as I can. what's responsible for the eroding of integrity in our Nigerian society? The first thing I would say to you would be that the family unit has failed a lot of a lot of people in our society. The family unit, parents have allowed themselves go and refuse to pay attention to the upbringing of the children. There used to be the time in Nigeria where you go to market and there's nobody there. You pick your item, pay your money, pick your change, and then you go. And that was a society our forefathers left us. And then many years down the line, people are already applauding themselves, picking monies and not returning it and saying God has provided it. You understand?
What happened?
What happened now is the training our forefathers received wasn't transferred to this new generation. Many of us, there are parents today who say, don't flog my kids, whether they do anything, whether they do right or wrong. There are people who say, don't shout on my kids. He's still a child, you know. But then they say, giving excuses. And by the time the child feels defended for wrong, he would expect that as he grows older, he would get such defense. He will get people to back him for the wrong that he has done. And that's why people do massive corruption without any fear, because they feel, oh man, I will pay my way through. I will get daddy will call a person, or maybe one or two persons will come in. I'll get a defense. I'll get away with it. You understand? So because the family unit have first failed, that's one of the major issues that we have to consider. The other thing is the lack of role models in society, the lack of enough role models. Now, if you've ever worked with a boss who is upright, whether you come from a bad home or not, it would only take time. You will see yourself being upright. Sure. That's because his influence would just keep changing you in bit, and in no time, those things you used to do, you no longer do them. It will also happen. That's also what happens when you work with a bad boss. The most you can do is try to resist. If you cannot stay there, you can leave. But if you stay there long enough, one way or another, you would begin to change. You understand? So by the time society, a lot of people blame the youth and say, the youth are becoming more corrupt. No, they're looking at the leaders. They're looking at the people who they see as role models. They're looking at those who are in power. They're looking at maybe religious leaders, maybe community leaders, people who take bribe and see it as a thing and see it as the way. You know, now we celebrate people who have monies that you cannot tell how they came about. You know, recently I had one very alarming one that there's now an association of Yahoo, mothers of Yahoo boys. And I'd be like, wow. So you can see where society had gone. People are having associations to applaud corruption. You understand? And this is only because there are no enough role models with which young people can focus their mind and say, oh, if this person can do it, yes, I can. If that person can do it, yes, we can. And that's why I would plead with the media every time. When you turn on the news, there's a lot of corruption stories. There's a lot. But does it mean we do not have stories of integrity as well? Because right now, the media is the social engineer of every society. The more you hear of bad news, the more you hear of corruption, it begins to almost sit with you as if it's a norm. But by the time we begin to tell stories, positive stories of men and women, just like Sunday, just like Ejiro, just like the other man, the police officer, you know, a number of this, by the time the media begins to propagate as much positive story, they will become a beacon of hope for young people, for other citizens to say, oh, if these few persons are doing it, yes, we can.
Okay, before I take this call, one of the callers called in to say that he returned money and he was giving 20,000 as appreciation. Would like you to send a text to us on 09022656167. Yes, name and where you're calling us from.
Okay, I'm hiding my name.
Let's hear you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, please. Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Abuja.
Go ahead.
I want to commend the guy in the studio and
that act of integrity. And the Lord bless him more and more in Jesus' name. Please, I would love to know, is the guy there? Is this in the studio?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, he's here.
I want to ask him a few questions.
Please go ahead. You have 1 minute to do so.
Okay, sir. Are you hello, sir? Where do you say, sir?
I said Airport Road in Lube.
Is it a tenant or a landlord? Do you pay your own house?
A tenant, sir.
Okay. I will reach out to you. I'm giving you a plot of land in Lube for that act of integrity.
Thank you very much, sir.
Message to the group page to this FM now, so you can reach out to me.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I would like you to send a message to 09022656167. I'll take the number again. 09022656167.
I'll get back to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We sincerely appreciate you. Please don't cry.
Congratulations.
Don't cry. I would say congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh, but the mood here is.
Amen.
Okay, Prince, okay, before I get to Prince. Oh, Francis, please don't cry. Don't cry. Okay, I'll give you time to just let it flow a little. Let's talk with Prince. How would your last take, please, as we begin to wrap up?
Okay.
Your last take, Prince.
All right. My message to Nigeria would be once again, I would plead that citizens become more active. It is true that where we are, the society we have is not one that we do desire to have. And for it to change, citizens must begin to rise to the occasion. Do you have your PVC? If you don't have it, go get it. Because it's high time we started voting in people who are responsible leaders, people who will show young people the way, people who will lead by example and help us build a more accountable society. The other thing I will say to both parents and all of us who are Nigerians will be pleased. It's high time we became responsible leaders. Don't say to yourself, you're still too small. Don't say to yourself, there's nobody watching me. There's always someone watching you every time. So please, let's begin to do the right thing, because somebody could just be inspired by your act of selflessness and integrity. And lastly, to those who run our institutions, please, we must strive to make our institutions accountable. When our institutions are accountable, we would help renew the public trust, which has already been broken, and set a pace for the coming generation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prince. But I'll take this again. One of the callers called in earlier and said he returned money and he was given 20,000 naira as appreciation. Would like you to send a message to us on 09022656167. 09022656167. Before we wrap up, Francis, your last take.
I want to sincerely thank God for this privilege, and I want to say thank you and God bless you. But to Nigeria, I want to say, if you are a good Nigeria, you should, as in, to keep on doing what you are doing. If it is good or it is otherwise, keep on doing. A day will come, reward will come for it, and you will thank God in a good way and the other way around.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So much. It's good to be good. Esther, we really must go.
Please visit the news page of our website, primognews.org, that is primognews.org, for all the details of our reports and interviews. Visit our website, www.primog.org, to get all the information about Primog.
And you can watch our videos on Primog TV, our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to get reminders when we have a new post. We sincerely appreciate our guest, the Communications Lead at Accountability Lab Nigeria, Prince Chimaroke Chukwuka. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Sunday Francis Adedokun, the boat driver and a good citizen of Nigeria, who displayed integrity by returning money forgotten in his car by a passenger in Abuja, and also to Ejiro Otarigo, who joined us via phone for his selfless and heroic, which saved the lives and property of many people in Agbaru town in Delta State. We also commend the police constable Nora Mande, who found and returned the missing $800 to its owner in Katsina State. We urge you all to continue doing the right things even when no one is watching. Public Conscience has the support of the John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation, committed to building a more just, verdant and peaceful world. Get more information about the foundation on its website, macfound.org.
Join us again here next week for another episode of Public Conscience. And remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram @officialprimark. I am Esther Bassi.
The number again to send the messages to is 0902-265-6167. 0902-265-6167. Remember that birth registration and birth certificate are both free if your child is under 18. Help stop the corruption in the birth registration process and do not pay for birth certificates. Remember that you can give us information or hints about corrupt acts through our phone at 0902-265-6167 or info@primark.org. I am Adaobi Obiabumo. Stay safe.